in Poway, California. This individual was with a AR-type assault weapon and opened fire on the people inside the synagogue. During the shooting, 4 individuals were wounded and transported to Palomar Hospital. Sadly, one of the individuals succumbed to their wounds. The other 3 are in stable condition at Palomar. As the suspect was fleeing the temple, an off-duty Border Patrol agent opened fire on the suspect, but it apparently did not hit him, but struck the car as it departed the area. The people at Palomar, one is a female juvenile in stable condition, and 2 adult males are in stable condition. Sadly, an older female died from and succumbed to her wounds she obtained in the shooting. The suspect was shortly taken into custody, and I'll turn it over to Chief Dave Nislight from the San Diego Police Department to give you the details of that arrest. Chief?
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. As this incident was unfolding, a San Diego police officer, canine officer, was en route to the scene. He was monitoring both the San Diego Police Department's dispatch and the sheriff's dispatch, heard the call and started making his way towards this call. As he was en route, he also overheard a CHP scanner of a suspect who had called into CHP to report that he was just involved in this shooting, and his location, which was Rancho Bernardo in the Interstate 15. As our officer was exiting the freeway, he clearly saw the suspect in his vehicle. Suspect pulled over, jumped out of his car with his hands up, and was immediately taken into custody by the San Diego Police Department. As the officer was placing this 19-year-old male into custody, he clearly saw a rifle sitting on the front passenger seat of the suspect vehicle, and the suspect, as I said, was taken into custody without any further incident.
This investigation will be led by the San Diego County Sheriff's Department, but it'll be a joint investigation with the San Diego Police Department and the Federal Bureau of Investigation. With us this afternoon is Acting Special Agent in Charge, Omer Mizell. Omer?
Thank you, Sheriff. First and foremost, we'd like to offer our deepest condolences to the victims of this tragedy. As soon as we were made aware of the incident, the FBI deployed resources immediately to the scene. We've deployed all relevant assets to assist with this investigation. We're working closely with our local, state, and United States Attorney's Office on the investigation. And with that, I'll turn it back over to you.
The San Diego County Sheriff's Department provides law enforcement services to the city of Poway. We're joined here this afternoon, and would like to say a few words by the mayor of Poway, Steve Voss.
I want you to know, this is not Poway. The Poway I know comes together as we did just a few weeks ago in an interfaith event. We always walk with our arms around each other, and we will walk through this tragedy with our arms around each other. We have deep appreciation for those who showed courage at the Chabad, deep appreciation for the law enforcement agencies that responded so quickly. We will get through this. Our thoughts and prayers will be with the families and those who are investigating. Poway will stay strong, and we will always be a community that cares for one another.
The Anti-Defamation League and our trauma intervention teams have set up a family assistance center at Poway High School to be available to anybody that wants their services. So I would commend people in the community to come together and maybe meet at Poway to talk about the grief that we're all suffering right now. We will be back in about 2 hours with more details as the investigation unfolds. I'll take a few questions if you have any right now.
Sheriff, do you know any details, I guess, about the suspect that you can give us, and maybe even a motivation for this?
No, we don't. We're not going to release that right now. It's in the process of being interviewed by homicide investigators from the Sheriff's Department and the FBI. We'll have those details later. But
is there an open letter that you left? Perhaps is that letter legitimate?
We have copies of his social media posts and his open letter, and we'll be reviewing those to determine the legitimacy of it and exactly how it plays into the investigation.
How many shots were fired?
I don't have the exact number of shots that were being fired. The crime scene is being done as we speak.
Do you know if he's connected to the Chabad?
I'm sorry?
Do you know if he's connected to the Chabad?
I do not know.
Do we know where he came from?
We have an address for him here in San Diego. He's in the city of San Diego. Yes, he's an adult male from the city of San Diego. I'm sorry. Yeah, we have. There are a lot of people still at the synagogue waiting to be interviewed by homicide investigators.
How many people inside? How many were in the room?
I heard there's close to 100 people waiting to be interviewed.
How many were in the room at the time?
I couldn't give you the exact number. I know there's about 100 people to be interviewed right now.
Was there a service going on?
I couldn't tell you. Sorry.
Was the rabbi injured?
Not that I know of. I don't know all the details on the victims. But
Did the suspect say anything when he was apprehended?
we're not going to discuss that right now while the investigation is ongoing.
So was the off-duty Border Patrol agent inside when this whole thing happened, or did he hear something and then go inside?
My understanding, he was inside the synagogue when the shooting broke out.
Did the man enter the synagogue in the middle of services?
I don't know those details.
Last question, guys. Last
Okay. We'll be back in about 2 hours, hopefully with some more details for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. You gonna roll?
Hi, again, I'm Sheriff Bill Gore, and I'm here to provide update on the tragic shooting at the Chabad Mosque this afternoon. The suspect has been widely reported. Identify the suspect as John Ernest, date of birth 6/8/99, age 19. He's a San Diego resident. As best we can tell, had no prior arrest records in San Diego. We're currently preparing search warrants, which is the timely process, for the residence, Ernst residence, for his vehicle, and for the mosque in Poway. Pardon me, for the synagogue in Poway. We're collecting digital evidence, and we're aware of his manifesto, which we're in the process of reviewing to determine its validity and authenticity. As you know, one person tragically died in the shooting today, and an update on the other victims. One's currently gone into surgery. One adult male is in stable condition at the hospital, and the juvenile has been in stable condition. She's been transported to Rady's Children's Hospital. We're currently working with the Escondido Police Department and the FBI to determine Ernst's possible involvement in the arson at the mosque in Escondido about a month ago. And the San Diego Sheriff's Department and the San Diego Police Department are conducting additional patrols at House of Worship throughout San Diego County. As I stated before, the Anti-Defamation League is offering crisis trauma counseling at Poway High School, and there's also a county crisis line that's available to anybody that needs their services. That's 888-724-7240. That's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We urge everyone to stay vigilant and report any unusual circumstances to 911, and guarantee you they will be promptly investigated and responded to. We're lucky in San Diego County to have the kind of cooperation we do. Just a few of the agencies have been working on this case so far, with the Sheriff's Department, San Diego Police Department, San Diego Fire, San Diego FBI, California Highway Patrol, Escondido Police Department, ATF, California Office of Emergency Services, and the U.S. Border Patrol. Also with me today, again, is Mayor Steve Voss of Poway, and the acting special agent in charge of the FBI locally, Susanna Turner, and behind me, Congressman Scott Peters. We'd be happy to answer any questions you have at this
Sheriff,
time.
Could you identify him again, please, for us?
His name is John Ernest, date of birth 6/8/99. He's 19 years old, and as far as we can tell, has had no prior contact with law enforcement.
And it looks like he said that he could be behind this mosque burning at the
We're looking into the possibility.
What ties into that?
Well, some of the digital evidence that we're reviewing right now. I can't go into any more detail on that.
Do you know what kind of gun or rifle or anything that was used in it?
As far as I can tell right now, it's a assault type rifle, AR-15 type rifle. I don't have specifics.
Sheriff, is this being investigated as a hate crime at this point?
Well, it's being investigated as a homicide, but we're also looking at the hate crime possible violation as well as federal civil rights violations.
Did he say anything when he was arrested?
I'm not going to go into that now. He's being thoroughly interviewed by homicide detectives and FBI agents.
Are there any links between the older white supremacists in the county?
I'm sorry?
Are there any links with white supremacists?
We don't right now have any connection between Mr. Ernest and any white supremacist groups.
Did he have any run-ins with the police prior to today?
We have no record of police contact prior to today.
There was a report that somebody you saw his post on social media before the shooting and contacted the FBI. Can you address that?
What was the question?
Whether the FBI was contacted by anyone who saw his social media post.
Prior to? I'm not aware of any, no.
We're also hearing that he attempted to live stream the attack, but something happened. Can you confirm that may have been?
I can't confirm that right now. No.
Sheriff, do you know if any
Sheriff,
explosives
during the last news conference,
inside? Do you know if any explosives were found inside?
To this point, no explosives have been found at the synagogue.
And are dozens still inside the pod right now being questioned?
Yes.
Was the rifle the only weapon confiscated?
As far as I know, yes, that's correct.
Was there any exchange of gunfire during his arrest?
No, there was not.
Sheriff, earlier you were mentioning there were about 100 people that investigators still need to talk to.
Yeah.
Have they been spoken to, or what's the status with the witnesses?
No, the status of the witnesses, they are still at the, my understanding is they're at the rabbi's house behind the synagogue waiting to be contacted by FBI agents and deputy sheriffs.
What would you like to say to this congregation, because tomorrow is Sunday? Typically there's Hebrew school at most synagogues. Is that going to go on tomorrow, or should people stay away from the area?
I would refer that to the synagogue. I don't know what their immediate plans will be. As far as we will have extra patrols in the area, as will San Diego Police Department, around most of our house of worship in San Diego County. Hopefully nobody will try to copycat this tragic event here that took place in Poway today.
Was the rabbi during the incident?
Yeah, my understanding is the rabbi was one of the individuals that was injured in the shooting.
Can you elaborate, please, on whatever interventions happened which may have saved lives in the entire assault process?
Well, as I stated before, there was a Border Patrol officer off duty at the synagogue, and as the Ernst was leaving the facility, he obtained a weapon and engaged in gunfire and shot at Ernest. Did not hit him, but there was appears that he did put some bullet holes in the car that Ernst was driving.
What capacity was he there, as a congregant or as security?
As a security guard, I believe.
Sheriff, what can you tell us about the victim? How many shots did she receive?
I don't have those details.
Okay, last question.
So as far as the way that this ended, the fact that he left at some point, did he leave because of the response from the CBP officer, or did he leave on his own and the CBP officer saw him?
We're not sure. A lot of this will be developed during the investigation. There's indications that his gun might have malfunctioned after firing numerous rounds.
Sheriff, what can you tell the community about the sense of fear at this moment in the whole county?
Well, I think we've seen these tragic events all over the United States, and all I can tell the people out there that see this on their TV is that your law enforcement agencies, federal, state, and local in San Diego County are vigilant, and we will provide the type of security, hopefully, that will prevent this from happening in the future. But sadly, we're seeing this happen all too often around our country, and it's tragic, especially when it happens here in our own backyard.
Okay, if you have any other, well, we'll put in updates through the Sheriff's Communication Center and through a media release if anything else breaks during this investigation. Okay, thank you.